Hello, this is Dr. Janet Hall and I'm a clinical psychologist here in Melbourne, Australia, and I have been a hypnotherapist for over 32 years. So I've learned a lot about in the ways that hypnotherapy can help people achieve success and definitely overcome the limitations, fears, anxieties, hesitations and doubts that they may have. And on this video, I'm going to talk to you about how hypnosis can be really helpful for people who are anxious about getting their driver's license. And that probably includes 90% of the population. Sure, there are some young men who've been driving in their heads or driving in their real world if they have a kind coach in their dad or big brother or something. You know, and they can't wait to get their license. And I remember the day that I got my license was successful, almost in spite of myself, because foolishly I scheduled my driver's license test on the day of my 18th birthday, and it was on the morning of my Year 12 exam, which was in the afternoon, and it was in biology, and that was a really tough exam. If I could go back in time, I would recommend to you, and I would have done this, I would have waited till all my exams were over. So first tip is to choose the right time, a time when you're not under stress. I'm assuming that you've had lots of coaching and you have what we call the competencies of driving. So then you might like to invest in my MP3 called Be a Competent and Capable Driver, and listen to it every night that before you go to bed, because what it's doing is it's empowering you so that when the day actually comes and the time actually comes for you to sit your driver's license test with that testing person, that everything will seem like it's just sliding in time the way it was when you were rehearsing. Now, when you have an MP3 and you're going to sleep, don't fear that you will not be able to process what's happening on an unconscious level, because the subconscious mind is very clever in picking up what you're listening to even while you're sleeping. But it may be good if you're coming up to perhaps the month before the driver's license test, that you actually schedule some times during the day when you find a quiet time and you just sit or lay down and close your eyes, of course, and just let yourself be carried away by my voice and the music in the background as you visualize yourself getting ready for the test, going into the test, and then doing that drive, that very important drive, as if you are already a driver with 10 years of experience. If you've noticed how people who are very experienced do drive, it's as if everything flows. It's called unconscious competence. And you know, when we're little children and we just get into the car, we are in what's called unconscious incompetence. That is, we don't even know that we don't know how to drive, and we don't care. And then we might get interested around about 10 and we'll say, Mum, Dad, how do you drive? Now we're consciously incompetent. We know we can't do it. As we're learning under instruction, we become consciously incompetent. That is, we know that we're not functioning very well. And then finally, once we get that driver's license and we've had all those hours of practice, then we can move into what we call unconscious competence, where you don't have to think about what you're doing. So why don't you make that a much easier process on yourself and tap into the power of hypnosis to rehearse your readiness to take that test and to pass it with flying colours. And if there is perhaps a mum and dad watching this, or if you're a younger person and you'd like to recommend that mum and dad perhaps give you the MP3 called I Am a Capable and Competent Driver as a present to make your experience so much more free-flowing and successful, why don't you just ask? In fact, if you would like to ask me any questions about how hypnosis works for you with any areas, and particularly with being a capable, competent driver, please have a look at my hypnosissecrets.com.au website, or contact me at my email at jan@drjanethall.com.au, and I'll be very happy to personally answer any question that you may have. So I wish you every bit of success with learning how to be a capable and conscious driver, and I hope you take advantage of making it easy on yourself.